Hello and welcome to another tutorial. This one is the third sequel of React Portfolio website. In this one, we're gonna learn how to take React website and optimize it for mobile devices. We're gonna learn how to create mobile menus using React and how to use media queries to handle different problems. Prerequisite for this tutorial is to watch two previous videos on this subject, and the links are in the description box below. There is going to be a lot of CSS coding, so if you like CSS, get ready and let's roll.
Code with Sloba.
So I already downloaded my repository, and if you haven't watched the first and the second video, please, I highly recommend. So in order to get to this stage and this phase, the website to look like this, you need to watch the first two tutorials. And I have opened up the Visual Studio Code and my project running. So you just need to go and run npm run start. Once it's compiled successfully, you can open up the localhost 3000. And you can see our website looks very nice on large screens, but if we shrink it down, it starts to break down. So if you go and check out the pages, it doesn't look nice either. So this is something that we want to fix. And usually when I optimize the sites for mobile devices, I like to use the Chrome DevTools, and I like to use the emulator for the devices. So using this, I can be sure that we're targeting the specific dimensions. For example, I like to use the iPhone 12 or some of the more popular phones. So in that case, we know that we are targeting good dimensions. So let me just reset that so that we are sure that we are targeting that, and we can start. The first thing that we do on the desktop that I want to fix is we are removing the scroll. So as you can see, all the pages don't have scroll on the desktop because we don't want to have a scroll bars there. But on the mobile devices, on the small screens, the real estate is really important. So having the scroll bar to display all the content is something that we want to have. So in order to do that, we need to go to the root index file and reset the body property. So as you can see here, we are setting overflow to hidden. The resolution that we want to target, all these styles that we're going to apply in this tutorial are going to be in the media query. So let's add media screen, and the resolution is going to be 1200. So max, everything below this resolution will be applied. So 1200 pixels, and let's just set the body to overflow visible, because we want to see those scroll bars. We want to scroll on the mobile screen, right? Nice. The first thing that I want to target and style is the left sidebar, because this is going to be the same for every single page. And let's first do that. So open up the index.scss file in the sidebar folder. Okay. And we want to use the same media queries. So I can just get back and copy it. And once gets to the sidebar and open up the index.scss file. I just want to remove this body rule. You can apply more media queries if you want to target like the laptop, the tablet, the smaller desktop, and different versions of the mobile devices. But for this tutorial, I think that targeting only this resolution will do enough. So you can always do better, but this should do it for the first tutorial and for the first devices, and it will work for the most devices actually. Okay, so the first thing we want to target is this nav sidebar, like I said. So the class for it is navbar. Okay, so target the navbar, don't forget to add the dot, and I want to make this transparent. So the solid background is going to be to the links itself, but I want to make the actual navbar transparent. So set the background as transparent. Okay. Position to initial, because this was positioned fixed. Set the height to be auto. So to take the height of its content and not to be a full height of the window, and set the min height as well to be auto. Okay. Now, as we want to reduce the amount of content that we have on the mobile devices, here we have two menus. I think that we can reduce the sizes and just display this one main navigation menu. We don't need to display the social media. You can as well, but I decided to not. So easy way to do so is to target UL, which is this, and the nav, which is the navigation, the main navigation, and just set the display to none, obviously, like so. But I want to target the navigation and to style it as it's going to be once we are opening. How we are going to handle the navigation is we're going to add the hamburger menu here on the very top. And once we click on the hamburger menu, we're going to open up the navigation. And we're dynamically going to add the display block property. Okay, so, but for now, for the styling purposes, let's just hard code it as display block. Okay. Let's add a width of 100%. We wanted to take it the full width and the full height. So width 100% and the height is going to be 100%. And I want to have the background to be solid. So add a background and use the dark color that we used before, 181818, like so. Okay, now we want to reset it to the very top and the very left. So top 0 and left 0, like so, and we want it to be positioned as fixed. Also, as you can see, it's below the items that we have on the page, so we need to set the z index to 2. We want to have it only that visible, nothing else. Okay, and we have some negative margin, so let's reset the margin to 0. Okay, like so. And now you can see it looks nicely. The other thing that I want to set here is I want to display the text, not only the icons. So let's now target the 8 elements. We want to center them completely, so use the display flex, and let's add the justify content as center. So we want everything to be centered out, and the text and the icons. So justify content center and align item center. Okay, like so. How we target the text is we are targeting that with the after pseudo selector, because we were dynamically adding the text and we were showing and hiding it, this depending on the hover effect, right? But right now we want to set the opacity to 1, so we always see the text. Okay, let me just see navigation, but actually it needs to be inside of the navigation so that it's targeted correctly. Okay, like so. Now we can see it. And let's set the position. As you can see, it's positioned absolutely right now. So set the position to initial. Okay. Set the width to be auto. Like so. And let's add just some separation on the left side. So add the margin left. Let's say 10 pixels. Okay. Like so. One other problem that we have right now, if we try to navigate to other pages, you can see that we lose the icon because we are applying the active class. So we want to display the icons all the time, because on the desktop version we were hiding the icon and showing the text. But right now we want to show the both. So let's target the SVG and set the opacity to 1 always, and use this important rule, because we have some rules that are conflicting here. Okay. Now this works correctly, but as you can see on the home page, it's not getting centered. The reason for that is, let me show you. I will remove this display block because we don't need it anymore anyways. Because we have this S letter, which is overflowing the boundaries of our body element, and we are getting the horizontal scroll. This is something that you don't want. We want to have only vertical scroll, right? The horizontal scroll is something that nobody likes. But let's make this menu dynamic, and let's make it work. So in order to do that, we need to add our hamburger menu, and we want to make it work. One click. So on the very bottom, after the closing UL tags, let's add our hamburger menu. So we're gonna use font awesome again here, like so, and let's add icon FA bars. If it doesn't import for you, make sure to import it manually, and I will import it from font awesome free solid SVG icons. like so. Okay. For the color, let's use the yellow color that I used across the website. So it's FFD 700. Okay, like so. Set the size to 3x. You can see here we have different sizes. And let's add a class name so that we can apply some positioning styles to the hamburger icon. Hamburger icon. We reset. Okay, we get the hamburger icon. Now I just want to style it and position differently. Okay, let's go to the index SCSS file again, and we can style it outside of the nav here. Okay, let me close this. The first thing which I want to apply is display block. Why display block when we see it? Because we want to apply display none on the larger screen. So we don't want to see the hamburger icon on the larger screens. So set here to display none, right? And now if we close the mobile screen, you can see that we don't get anywhere hamburger menu. And if we shrink it down, we get the hamburger menu. And that's what we want, right? Okay, let me open up again the simulator and refresh it. Okay, like so. Okay, let's position the hamburger. So let me just add the position absolute here, and I want to position it on the top right. This is like the most standard convention. So top 15 pixels and right 15 pixels. Like so, in the top right corner. Now we want to apply some classes to the navigation once we click on it. In order to do that, we're going to use useStateHook. Okay, so on the top here, in the sidebar function, let's add const, call it show nav. This is the property that we're going to use to alter and to toggle the class, and the property setter is going to be set show nav. Okay, this is the standard naming convention for it, and we're going to use useStateHook for that, and the default value is going to be false. So it means by default when you load a page, the navigation is going to be hidden, right? Okay, let's copy the function that we're going to use, and let's just head over to our font awesome icon, and when we click on it, we want to set on click. We just want to set the navigation as shoe. So we want to show it. Okay, like so. But this doesn't do much right now. If you click on it, it just updates the value, right? So we want to apply some styles to our navigation. So let's head over to the nav here. Let's just find it. Okay, here navigation. And what I want to do is for the navigation, I just want to add and toggle the class name. So if it says show name, then we want to add a class mobile-show. Otherwise, don't add any classes, which means that it will be displayed as none. Okay, so now we need to add this mobile show. Show name, actually show nav should be the name of the variable, show nav. And now let's add the mobile show class. Okay, and we need to add it to the navigation here. Okay, so for the nav, we just want to target it here. Let's add mobile show and set the display to block. Let's refresh and let's try. Okay, let me just refresh the page. Let's click on the hamburger menu, and as you can see, we get the menu. The problem now is that we cannot close the menu. We need to refresh, right? How to solve this is we need to add the close icon. Okay, so icon is going to be, this close icon is going to be created inside of this navigation so that we can see it once the navigation is opened. So before the closing nav tag, let's add it. Again, we are using the font awesome element, font awesome icon element. Okay, to be precise, icon is going to be named FA close. If it doesn't import, again, you need to make sure that you manually import it from the free solid SVG icons here. Okay, for the color, let's use the same one as we used. So it's that yellow one and FFD700. Okay, like so. We want to set the size to 3x. Okay, add a class name so that we can style the position as well, and the name is going to be close icon, like so. And once we click on this icon, we want to close the menu. So on click, we will use set, call the function, and we'll use set. Let me just see what is the name of the function. Set show nav. Set show nav, and pass a false value. Okay. And now let's apply some rules. For close icon, let me just see if it's there. So let's just refresh. Okay. If we open up, we have it here. If you click, we are closing. But the only problem is here that it's not styled correctly. It's not positioned correctly. So go to the index.scss file. And here we can apply the same rules. Dot close icon, like so. So it's on the very top, and we can close. Again, we have these layout issues which will be resolved later on, but it's working correctly. The another thing that I want to apply is the same as for the hamburger icon. I want to show it only on the mobile devices. So here we want to be hidden on the desktop. And that sums up our navigation. The next thing which I want to style is our home page and home layout. Now we can close the sidebar because we are done with styling. And we can close the main index file. Before we proceed, I want to apply some default styles for layout because we were applying some absolute positioning in order to make the website fluid and to make the content flying and all these effects. But I want to reset all of these things. So actually, let me just open the sidebar to copy paste this media query so that I don't have to type it again. This is going to be applied for every single page that we're having. And like I said, for every single page, I want to reset the position value to be initial. You don't want to make any page absolute anymore. Also for the containers. Container, set a position to be initial and set a height and min height to auto. Okay. This will fix a lot of bugs for us. Okay. Now let's proceed. As you can see, as the page is not absolute anymore, we have some different layout shift right now. So let's do a little bit of, let's apply some of the magic to the index inside of the home page. Again, let's paste the same media screen, at media screen rule, and let's target the same resolution, like so. So the first thing that I want to remove here is I don't like these tags, so I want them to be removed. I mean, you can keep them, you can remove them, it's up to you. But for me, I'm going to remove them. And also I'm going to target the tags on the page itself and on the title. So home page, H1, before and after. Okay. Like so. And set just the display to none. Okay. Now we removed it. Now we can start working on the tag zone. Okay, so let's target the home page. And let's target the tag zone. set the position again to be initial, as this was absolute as well. Okay. We want it to take the full width. So width 100%, transform none. On the desktop version, we have it flying in to the page. We don't want to have it anymore. So transform none, set the padding to have some padding around the text, so 10 pixels, and set the box size into border box. So it doesn't take more than 100% of its width. Okay, I think that if you check below this S icon, you can see that we are styling this text wrapper text zone much better now. But it's hard to see because of this logo. Okay. The other thing which I want to do is I want to target this button. So let me actually just hide the logo until we finish styling. So let's target the logo container and display as none. Okay, like so. Okay, let me just apply some styles to the button itself. So flat button. Let's add the float to none because it was floating left, as you can see. Set it as display block. And let's add some margin. Let's add a margin on the top, 20 pixels, so it's separated from the text. Let's add auto and auto, so it's centered. But if we don't apply any width property, it's going to take the full width. So let's apply width 125 pixels. Yeah, that should do it. And now we can style the logo container. Obviously, we want to remove the display none. And let's set the position to relative. Okay. Instead of the absolute positioning, set the width to 100 pixels. Okay, like so. Now it's much smaller, much nicer on the mobile device. Set the height to be auto. Okay. Let's add some distance on the top, so top 50 pixels and right 0. Okay, just to center it nicely like so. Set the box sizing to border box because we're gonna apply some padding. And let's add a margin to auto because we were applying some margin previously, so we want to reset that. And let's add the left rule to none as well, so that we are sure that it's dead center. Okay. Now let's style the SVG. We can, from the container, we can actually do that inside of the logo container. So let's add SVG here and set the position as absolute. Top auto. Right. We want to add all these rules to auto. Top right, bottom auto, and set the left actually to be 0. Okay, like so. And we want to use the margin auto. And let me refresh the page. And we have the animation as we do previously, and it works very nice. It looks very nice. With this, we are completed with this homepage. But I think that I just remember one thing. So we have one problem. If we go and try to navigate to other pages, you can see that this menu is not being closed. So we actually need to go and click the close icon. But the problem with this is that we miss the animation that we have, that beautiful animation. As you can see here, we're not coming at the beginning of the animation. We need to be very fast, but this is the bad user experience. So what I forgot to do is I forgot to add the close event on our links. So what we can do is we can just copy this on-click event can link and apply that to all the nav links. So this is for the contact, copy paste for the portfolio. We can add the same for the about, and we can apply the same. This one is for the home. Okay. Now let's try now. If we load our page right now, we can see the beautiful animation And if you navigate to the different page, it works as expected. Obviously, the layout is totally broken, but the menu is closing right away. So that's nice. Let's target and let's style the About page right now. The good thing about applying and fixing this About page is that the most of the styles that we apply here is going to be applied to other pages, except the home page, which is kind of made differently, right? Because it's a landing page. So in order to fix it, let me close all the other files and let's open up the layout index. So here, like I said, the most of the styles that we apply to About page is going to be applied to other pages. So inside the container, we want to target all these pages. So let's target the About page first, then Contact page, and Portfolio page. Okay. And inside of these pages, we have text zone for every single page. Okay, so for the text zone, set the position to be initial, sorry, and transform to be none. Sorry, like so. Set the width to be 100%. Display block. And let's add some padding to the sides and on the top. Excuse me. Padding 20 pixels. Like so. It looks much better. Okay. And let's add box size in border box so that we are sure that it takes the 100%. If you add padding to 100% width, it will take more. So that's why you need to apply the border box sizing. Okay. That looks much better. But only thing that we want to style here actually is our cube here. So we can go to the About. Let me copy this media query and go to About and index CSS file, and on the very bottom, let's paste it like so. Now let's target the stage cube container, reset the position to be initial so it's not overflowing our content here. Okay, but let's set the width to be 100% so it takes the full width like so, and let's set the height to be 0%. Okay, 0%, and set the, right now it's hiding the overflow, so let's set the overflow to visible like so. And with this, About page is done. If we go to the home page, it works nice and it looks nice. And if we go to About page, this one looks nice as well. Now let's check the portfolio page. This doesn't look so nice, right? So let's add some portfolio styles as well. So I will close the index from the About and from the layout, and I will open the style from the portfolio page here. Once again, on the very bottom, let's add the media queries, and let's target the portfolio page. So portfolio page, but let's make sure that we target container as well, container, so that we don't have any rules that are not being applied. So the first thing which I want to apply here is the width of the page. So width needs to be 100%, and let's add some padding to 20 pixels. Okay, but once again, we need to make sure that we don't have any scroll bars, any horizontal scroll bars. So set the box sizing to be border box. Okay, so we don't have any scroll bars, like you can see, only vertical ones but no horizontal ones. Okay. Now let's style this title here. So let's target the H1 page title we have suggested here, and let's add some margin on the left, 20 pixels, so to reduce the margin on the left side, and let's reduce the margin on the top to 20 pixels. Okay, much better. And let's target the image box, which are these portfolio boxes. They're called image box, maybe not the best naming convention, but yeah. Set the height to be 200 pixels, so reduce it a little bit. Height, make sure that it's spelled height. Right now, how you set is we have 4 boxes in a row. This makes sense on the larger desktop devices, but for the mobile versions, we want to make only 2 items per row. So let's set the max width and use the calc function to call the 50% of the width, and let's reduce it by 10 pixels, which is the margin that we have in between the items. Okay, actually we are missing the C for calculation, right? And as you can see, we have the portfolio page done. So this is very simple page, right? All the pages are very actually simple, but very effective, very nice. The styling is good, and I think it should impress the people who are visiting. The only thing which is left right now is the contact page. Okay. The text is almost done. So the only thing which we need to fix is the map, because we don't see the map and we have this info flying around. So let's open up the contact page. We can close the others. Open the contact page. And let's add once again the same media queries. You know by now what we're going to do. And let's target map wrap. Set the float to none. Okay, set the width to 100%. And let's set the height to 400 pixels because we don't see it right now. If we set to 100%, we start to get our map here at the bottom here. Also, let's reduce the margin to 0, like so. And I want to hide this info here on the top. So info map display none. Let me refresh the page. And boom, we have nice animation as well, jumping in, and everything looks correctly. So let's just review what we have done. So what we have done first, we created this navigation on the very top, actually moved it from the left side on the top, and we styled it to look very nice on the mobile device. We also added these icons, close and open menu icons. We styled the text, and pretty much the styles for the text are same for all the pages. And what we did, because we have the layout one next to each other, left on the right side, we just changed the left side to go on top and the right side to go on the bottom. And here we have the icon. If we go on the about page, the text is on the top with the title, and on the bottom we have this rotating box on the bottom. And if you go on the portfolio page, we don't have text here, we just have the title and the boxes are on the bottom, and now we have 2 in a row instead of having the 4. And on the last page, on the contact, we have on the very top the text, the form, and on the bottom we have this map if somebody wants to find you, right? Not to start here. And that is it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something new. I want to thank you for 10,000 subscribers. I'm very super excited.
Well, that's all for this React video.
And thanks for stopping by.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Code with Sloba.
Thank you for watching the entire video. To see more React tutorials, click here.